Hey guys, it's Chris. From buying multi-million-dollar stamps to buying up the world one place at a time, here are 8 expensive hobbies only the rich can afford. Number 8. Buying and customizing a jet. Now let's talk travel. When you're rich, you can easily travel all over the world and stay at the best places without having to bat an eye. And when you're rich, you don't want to wait around in airports and lines, right? No, not even first class is worth that. Instead, you can have your own ride by buying a private jet. Getting a private jet is seen as one of the ultimate symbols of the upper class, because when you own one, that means you have millions or hundreds of millions in the bank to spend on it and its upkeep and storage. Now, fair enough, buying a jet may not necessarily be a hobby, but what many celebrities and rich people do after getting one can be. Many high-profile people will get a jet from, say, a company or charter business, and then totally redo the interior and sometimes the exterior in order to make it shine in their own personal way. A great example of this is the rapper Drake, who spent many millions buying his own private jet, and then he customized it with a bar, multiple bedrooms, and a living room area. So if he wanted to, he could live in the jet with some friends and be totally fine. And when the jets are all set, they can take them out and fly them all over the world without much effort, even if they don't need to go somewhere. And I know many people out there, me included, who would want that kind of freedom. And as for other clever millionaires out there, their customized jets can also be used as a charter and become another business that makes them more money. Not that they need it, but for rich people, making money is kind of a hobby too. Number 7. Fine dining. When you're rich, just about any food you desire is open to you, especially if you know where to get it. And I don't just mean the things you can buy at your local grocery store. I'm referring to how you can get all kinds of things imported for yourself if you can't get them through regular means. Or if you wanted to be served instead of cooking, you can go to some of the most expensive restaurants in the world and feel pampered without fear of breaking the bank. And trust me when I say that many restaurants out there cater specifically to the rich. For example, in Ibiza, Spain, there's a place called Sublimotion, where they don't charge you per meal, but per person that comes to the restaurant. And they charge you $2,000 just to get in there. And then there's Masa in New York City, a Japanese restaurant that'll cost you about $600 just to walk in. And then you'll be done in 2 hours no matter what. You'll be served by the renowned chef Masa Takayama, and it will be the focus of their attention. And then you go ahead and add any weird or expensive tastes, any fine wines and liquors, and going out can easily get into the thousands, no problem. So as you can see, it's not just the fine dining that's the hobby of the rich people here, but also the fact that they want the ultimate experience, and something that they know other people can't exactly get. Number 6. Car collecting. For the rich, there's a deeper appreciation of cars that can go beyond having the best car around. Mainly, they like to collect the cars that aren't really in circulation anymore, or the super limited edition ones. I mean, wouldn't you? They search the country or the globe and look for the rarest of the rare. Sometimes they're looking for the cars that helped set the stage for the future of cars, or ones that just have raw style and power, whatever gets the owner going. I mean, of course, you could also get the future cars and just buy a new custom-made prototype. And of course, there are people who aren't filthy rich who also collect cars, and that's fine. But if you look at some of the car collections that people like, well, say very successful businessman and host of Fast and Loud on the Discovery Channel, Richard Rawlings have. And then if you go ahead and compare that to your friends, well, you're gonna see the difference. If you're looking for examples, how about the 1961 Ferrari 250 GT California SWB Spider? That is a very rare car that costs $17.2 million. Or the Bugatti Type 41 Royale Kellner Coupe, which is worth $10 million. And that's just the base price. Sometimes people will put cars like these at auction, and the price for the vehicles will go so high that it sets records. So when it comes right down to it, if there's a car a rich person wants, they're gonna get it no matter the price. Number 5. Philanthropy. Now you might be thinking, wait, is philanthropy a hobby? And yes, in fact it is. But most don't realize it because most people misinterpret what the word means. They usually think that it means giving money to various charities and that's it. But that's donating or charity giving, and philanthropy is when you dedicate your time and money to a certain cause. If you look at some of the richest people in the world today, some of them are recognized for being humble and using their wealth for their greater good. So they've created their own foundation solely with the goal of making people's lives better. For example, Bill and Melinda Gates, Warren Buffett, George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, even Angelina Jolie, and many more have dedicated a lot of time and effort into their charity foundations. And some of the celebrities I mentioned there even donated a vast majority of their fortunes to their foundations, like George Lucas and the Gates. And their efforts help make the world a better place, and it's only through their time and money that they're able to do it. It's not easy to start a charity and make it profitable in regard to helping others, but with their huge reserves of cash, it makes the whole process a lot smoother. Plus, it makes the world a little better than when they found it. Number 4, mansion building. Take a look around your place for a second. I want you to think about what you would do if you could renovate this place to your exact liking. What would you change? What would you keep the same? How would you make it suit you specifically? And now I want you to imagine that you can make your dream home. It can be any size and any style, and almost anywhere in the world. So what would it be like? And where would you put it? Sadly, for many of us, we'll never get the chance to have this dream fulfilled, since we don't have an unlimited building and decorating budget. But there are many rich people out there who take great pride in their homes, solely because they had it built from scratch to meet their desires or needs. And trust me when I say that some rich people go to extreme lengths to make their house a home. Take, for example, Kanye West and Kim Kardashian, who spent $60 million on their mansion and outfitted it with things that might surprise you, such as when they gave a tour of their home and had Kenny G in the living room playing music to help set the mood, or how in one of their hallways they have life-size busts of themselves from various points in their life to help them remember things. And this isn't even mentioning one of the biggest things they put into one of their homes: gold toilets, just like Donald Trump and the former Ukrainian president. 4 gold toilets, in fact, all to make their bathroom truly sparkle. And just so you know, there is an option to have gold-plated toilet paper as well, because why not, right? I mean, I don't really know if you can actually use it though. What do you think? If you had gold toilet paper, how do you think that would work? Let me know in the comments below. Number 3, sports ventures. I mean, most people like sports, but for the rich, they can take these sports ventures to the next level, such as polo, which is considered the sport of royalty, and its membership costs are incredibly high no matter where you play it. There's a polo club in Detroit, for example, and it costs $3,000 a year to play. Horses are an expensive hobby all by themselves, let alone combining it with athletes and fancy clothes. And of course, there are those out there who are so rich that they're able to buy an entire sports team. We've all seen men like Jerry Jones and Robert Kraft not only get franchises, but then use their money and influence to expand them into the public eye in every way that matters. Jerry Jones even got a TV show made about being a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, all because he wanted to boost the value of his brand, which at last tally was worth a cool $4.8 billion. So dream big, kids. Number 2, auctions. Auctions are meant to be a place where people can get interesting, useful, or exotic items. Anyone can go to an auction and try their luck and win something they desire. But when it comes to rich people, going to auctions, or at least having a representative to get stuff for you, can be a really fun hobby. Granted, sometimes these auctions have things like cars, or rare jewels or paintings, but some of the prices that people are paying for these things are mind-boggling, such as an 1856 magenta 1-cent stamp from British Guiana that sold for $9.5 million. For a stamp, guys. A stamp that has been bought and sold many times, including in 1980 for a mere almost who cares $935,000. Or how about an art piece known as Balloon Dog that was made by Jeff Koons? He apparently made a set of 5, and when his orange version of a balloon dog sold at auction, it went for $58.4 million. And that's only scraping the tip tip of the iceberg for how weird and extreme rich people will go on these auctions. I think we can all agree that collecting stuff can be a fun hobby, and depending on your budget, well, you can collect whatever you want. Number 1. Yachting. For many people, a dream vacation is booking passage on a cruise and going to the beach. Okay, and also maybe see a few sights or go to Disney World, whatever. But for rich people, they skip the middleman and they buy their own yachts. These boats can be as expensive as they want to be. And first off, let's talk size. Many of these yachts are massive. They can even be the size of cruise ships, such as the $1.5 billion Eclipse, while others are a bit more personal and only suited for a couple handfuls of people. It just depends on what the person who owns the yacht wants. They can build it for fun, they can have them customized for a luxury feel, whatever they desire. Then when it's done, they can take the boat out alone or with friends anytime they want. Granted, it is a very expensive hobby, yet they do it all the time. In fact, there's one yacht out there called the History Supreme that is comprised partially of gold, and it took $4.8 billion to make. Thanks for watching, guys. Can you believe the hobbies that the rich have? What expensive hobby would you have if you could afford it? I'd probably collect vintage cameras and camera lenses. Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time on World List.